that system to something more ethereal. It's like watching a movie. Watch a movie about war, it's too much. When you follow one person and what they go through, you feel it. So I got associated with that, and I said to him, what if we create a strike force team? If you're going to leave, how many meals would it take to feed everybody in the world for 10 years that need it, where it would give us time to build a sustainable solution? Because you can't keep doing the same crap, right? He was telling me, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 billion meals. I said, let's do a 100 billion meal challenge. I said, I did 1 billion meals when I started. I wasn't a billionaire. I've been blessed, obviously, since that time. You do great work. If you bless others, you'll be blessed, right? I wasn't doing it for that reason. It just came about. So I said, well, there's got to be 90 more guys like me right, in the world. There's 3,000 billionaires or owners of companies or, countries that'll do this. So we did this 100 billion meal challenge, and we went to Forbes 400. And I thought, we're going to get 50 of these guys, right? The richest people in the world. 4 people stood up. 4. Like, this is not working. We're going to do something different. But I won't bore you with all the details. The strategy, the thought process, and what kept me going, though, is it's not just having this unreasonable goal. It's having strong enough emotional reasons. And I got in these environments where people are starving. I got in Sudan where 1 million people cut off by the rebels there. And they were starving them out. This was just this last year. And the UN sent all these food people in, and they killed the drivers and took the food. MBS, not MBZ, MBS from Saudi Arabia, cares deeply. He tried to provide things. They killed everyone. So people stopped giving money. These people are going to starve. So I said, no, there's something different. I said, I'm just putting a line in the sand. You're going to feed these people. I'm going to provide enough food for 1 million people in a week. Who will match me? And I got Ray Dalio to match me. Pretty soon I had $40 million. But how are you going to do it? And this is where it gets so alive. It's like no one else in the world's done it. We're going to do this. You know, I'm going to hire a bunch of some military contractors. We're going to take C-130s, and we're going to take drones.
Let's go.
And we're going to deliver the food to the people.
Ayun. Yun, nahanap ko agad. Good job, me.
So when you do that,
LFG.
explodes. What the fuck compared to running a business? It's not even the same. And so I've been hooked on that. So now we got 62 billion meals in 3 years. It's just beyond any humanly possible. And then so now I just said we're going to do a song with We Are the World. And I got Jimmy Jam, the most successful Grammy guy, and I got everybody you can imagine in the music business all building it together. We just completed our first version of that. And then, I'm lucky enough, like you, I'm very blessed. I have a private plane, a 737. It burns a lot of carbon. I want to be conscious. How many trees does that burn? It's 3,000 trees a year. Like, I'll plant 100 million trees, but not just plant the trees. I'm going to plant 100 million trees, and I'm going to work with the farmers. I'm going to show them how to go from making $1 a day to $12 a day by having 12. And I work with a group to do that. It's like, a friend of mine's daughter was kidnapped and put into slavery. Just insanity. It happens in America. It happens overseas, and nobody wants to talk about trafficking. But that got me associated to it. We actually helped somebody, and so I went out undercover. I had markings all over my face. They had a makeup person. They had scars on my face. I helped them negotiate these deals with these animals that do this. It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life, but also the most beautiful. But again, I didn't just give money. I didn't just write something. I just didn't put something. I went in the fucking trenches, and I'm sitting there watching these girls go through the worst thing on earth, meaning they're chained to a bed to do 8 or 10 tricks a day, and then we get them freed. We run them to this house. They've never been out there. They're out on the ocean. They're down here playing basketball. They're changing their lives. And so then I'm hooked. So my wife and I have now funded 72. Started with 30,000. As many. I grew up in a town of 30,000 people. I want to free that many children, as big as the city I grew up in. Now we're at 72,000. I'm going tonight. We'll probably raise $5 million tonight. I'll do matching funds for everybody at the event to do it. So what I'm trying to say to you is, get off your ass. And I love you and I respect you, Alex. I'm not coming from that place. I hope you know where I'm coming from. You've accomplished more than most people dream in their lifetime. And I respect that. But when I say get off your ass, get off your emotional ass. Stop this fuck happiness shit. And just actually say to yourself, no, I deserve happiness. I'm going to create happiness, but I have to do it differently than it before. I can't just get up and just work because I'm trained to work. I can't. I'm not a fucking robot anymore. Right? You're way too smart, and you have way too big a heart. I know you do. I know everybody knows you well. I've seen you with your wife. You're an extraordinary human being. You're not just the guy here who does all these wonderful things, and they do wonderful things for people. You're absolutely right. But you're not connected to it, and you don't have something that you're obsessed about that makes you feel fully alive. You're doing it because you need to. The difference.
Oh my gosh, Tony Robbins is breaking Alex.
That's between rich and poor. And rich and poor is not money. Right? Rich
Damn.
And poor is feeling fully
I don't even know how smart Alex is.
Poor is you work your ass off and you have plenty of money.
That's
and
crazy.
You have people, but you don't connect it. And again, I'm not making a judgment. I hope you can feel my heart. It's just I want more for you. And I knew you wouldn't ask me the damn question, that's true. So it's like, but you need, like, your energy has got to be shifted. You need a kick in the ass. You need to get an environment where you're on fucking fire. Yeah. And then at that state, you've had that state before, I guarantee you, when you got here. But then you got so caught up in the push, I think you've missed some of the pull for your life. And I think this is not just true of you, it's true of most of us. Why are most people stressed? Like, if you talk to people, like successful people, they're always talking, I'm so stressed, I'm stressed. I'll tell you why you're stressed, because you're managing shit. Yeah. You know, like, you're
Oh no, nakuha ko. Damn it, wala na.
But you know what, when you manage,
I broke the fucking rule.
it's more stressful today than the dark ages. I mean, come on.
Damn it, I broke the rule.
We're trying to manage, and we're not made to manage. You've been so successful that now you've hit a set point. And now the only way that set point is, people get to a point where they question and they start going, is it worth it or not? But I have to keep doing it. Yeah. No, sometimes you make a point, you say, no, I'm going to keep what I'm doing, but I'm going to be connected to it at a different level. Or I'm going to change paths altogether, or I'm going to add a path that brings another dimension to me. Those are the places that go. So I'm pretty passionate about this answer, because primarily because you're asking me. Because you're asking a question, it's a very sophisticated question. Most people never ask because they never get to where you are. Right? So you've gotten to a place where you've hit a block, but you're only 37. You know, God willing, you're going to have 50 or 60 more years of your life. I don't want you going around doing it out of duty. You know, I want you going around doing it because I have to get up and work. Yeah. I want you to do it for something else, and so I can't do it for you. Yeah. But it'd be very useful.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I did.
There's nothing like being in an environment. I know when Pat Rowley came over.
But yeah, when I reached that 1K subs, I was like, I didn't react. Like I was like, yay. But honestly, all I care about right now is just the quality of the people I interact with. Like, regardless of how many subscribers I have or even following across all socials, like, it doesn't matter to me. I know it sounds so ironic since I also work for a marketing agency. And they kinda care about vanity metrics. But yeah, I just wanted to go to the... Like, at least for this channel, I just want to go to a different route. Because the moment I think about followers and all that shit and metrics, I think about work. It's just not healthy, yo. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue making this like as a channel for quote-unquote broadcasting my... Yo, I should clip that though. That deserves to get clipped. I hope it got clipped. Fuck, did I clip that? Oh yeah, I clipped that. I'll probably post that as a... No, man. Don't be sorry, man. You have to live your life. I know you have a very busy job. So go. I always tell this to random viewers who just drop by my stream. You don't owe me guys anything. Like, you guys have to live. I have to live, you know. That's how it is.
I have a 52-year-old daughter, and thanks to COVID, I have a 4.5-year-old daughter. COVID was good to me. I never thought at 65 years old I'd have a 4.5-year-old daughter, right? Are you kidding me? I've already done all that. But it's the greatest joy of my life because she makes me see the adventure and the smile. I want to do more for her than I want to do for everything else. Every day is new because everything is new for her. You just need some new elements. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be a child, but I wouldn't mind recommending the possibility for you to relate. I don't know how she feels about it, but I think at some point in your life, there has to be something more than you that calls you. I'm trying to give you a sermon. I'm just so passionate. I have a love for you because you've delivered so much value, and I hate when I see someone with so much value. And to me, I see this as a little bit of suffering. You wouldn't call it that. There's a conflict inside.
Nice.
I don't want to see you suffer. You're too good a human being. I don't want to see anybody suffer, much less you.
I appreciate that.
Does any of that make any sense to you? What part makes sense to you? I'm curious.
So there's three things. So one was the emotional connection part. The second was the framing of the opportunity. And then the third was around suffering. And so I want to touch on each of those.
I didn't. I forgot
So
that I
from a self-perspective,
muted this.
I find that really interesting because passion comes from the Latin passio, right?
Yes.
Which means suffering or to endure. And so that made actually a tremendous amount of sense for me. And so I actually reframed that whole concept as like find a goal worth suffering for. And so I've been very accepting of my suffering. And to your point, I actually don't have a lot of anxiety. That's actually not the issue that I deal with. I deal with the other opposite. The opposite extreme of not giving a fuck. Is it worth it? Who cares? Why bother? You know, whatever. So that was on the suffering piece.
Before you do that,
Please, yeah.
if I may, again, I'm not pretending to have the answer for you, but I'm just giving my 2 cents.
Makes sense. Yeah,
Because I want to see more of that smile that I see in you right there.
Yeah.
This is the
wide open.
This is the real you right here, by the way. But what happened is you're so in your head.
Yeah.
So even think what you did, like a goal worth suffering for. Fuck that. I mean, I don't have goals that I'm worth suffering for. No, don't get me wrong. You're not, every day is not like pure bliss. And there's lots of things that I don't love to do that I need to do to succeed or I got to deal with. That's part of life. But pain is part of life. Suffering's an option. You've heard that phrase, but it's a fact. It's not just a phrase. It's why you've heard that shit so long. That when you make it your goal to find a goal we're suffering for, you're gonna suffer, right? And so it's in your language.
I got my wish.
You got your wish. And what's happened is this part of you is so strong, brother. This part of you is too, but this is the lead right now. If you change the lead to here by that sense of connection and everything else, and get the hell out of your head, because your brain is always going to reduce things. It's like your brain will never make you happy. That's the problem. It won't even allow you to enjoy an apple. You'll use it organic. It's like your brain is analyzing so much. You got so stuck up here that you're missing this magnificent human being that I see in front of me here. You're missing the joy of him. So stop this getting over suffering for.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
So with the get out of your head, get into your heart.
Yes.
I love the language. I don't understand what it means.
I know, because right now you're in your head stuff. Because when you laugh like this, well, can you feel the difference? Like this guy right here is smiling at me right now. Is that a different guy?
Yes.
Okay, so let's do this. I have multiple parts of me. Most of us in life try to pretend we're one thing. Society makes you try to pretend you're one thing. I'm sure your wife has multiple personalities. My wife sure does. When I first met her, I'd have a conversation that she would talk about. I'd be like, who is this person over here, right? I had to come up with different names. And look at the smile on your face. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But I started naming the parts of my wife, so I knew who I was talking about. So there's Bonnie Pearl, there's Sage, and there's some names I can't tell you that are very
It's just
interesting.
Friday night. It's Tuesday morning.
But the point of the matter is, we as humans try to reduce ourselves for simplicity's sake, and society does to one thing. It's easier to manage, right? There are many parts of you. So what's the part of this guy that's so intellectual that, he's going to suffer and he's going to, he's going to get it done, and you're going, it's not this guy right here, this guy like this guy here, this guy's very good. Is this guy different?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're shifting just like that, right? So who's the guy who's in his head all the time and he's analyzing? Oh, he's brilliant, by the way. He's absolutely effing brilliant. And he can succeed in anything he gets at. What's that guy's name? Give me a nickname for that guy. I want to maybe
Analytical Alex. There you go.
What's
Analytical
that?
Alex.
Analytical what?
Analytical Alex.
Okay, analytical Alex. Okay, perfect. Okay. Who's this guy who's just laughing with me, looking over his wife, big smile on his face? Your smile's infectious, right? And this is you, right? Okay, so who is this guy?
Anabolic Alex.
Anabolic Alex. So Anabolic Alex has so much life in him. Can you feel it?
Yeah.
Okay? So what happens is, think about a relationship. Try it that way. Most people get in a relationship, and I always tell people, the secret to a relationship, 80% of having a great, lasting relationship or an intimate relationship is selection. And people will say to me, shit, why didn't you tell me that before I was married for 10 years or so? I said, no. I don't mean who you select. Who you select to be in this relationship. So when you're in the beginning of a relationship, what do most people do in the very beginning of a relationship? What will they do for the other person?
The best behavior, all that kind of stuff.
Anything. Lighting them up, light you up. There's no transaction value. You're not trying to see what you can get. Like your joy is making joy for them, right? Yeah. And you give your all. You dress properly. Or whatever properly. But you get the idea. You give your best foot forward. Then people get married sometimes, and after a certain number of years, they forget, and they bring a different person to the table who's always analyzing. Like, what did you do versus what I do? And they're measuring. That's a transaction. No one wants to be part of a transaction in the intimate relationship. And whenever you do a transaction, it's not fair anyway, because in a relationship, it's like a team sport. You're climbing a mountain.
Are you cycling?
If you're climbing a big mountain, right? You can't lead the whole damn time. Like, you'd love to, but you can't. You got to switch off, right, to make things work. So it's like, which part of you select to do business with? Which part of you is going to run your business? And so many of your viewers, I see people different than you. They'll be like, oh, I know I need to fire this person, I need to let go of this, or I got to do this, but I just can't hurt them. I was in that stage at one stage of my own life. But if you put that person in charge of your business, you're going to fail, right? Because you're going to be taking care of this person and hurting your platinum players, right? You're hurting your clients, right? So it's like we all have to pick the person we're going to be and be conscious of that. And in your case, my friend, it's not so you can succeed, because this will make you succeed. I am struggling here too. But if I let this thing take over, I would be bored shitless. I'd be like, okay, I got 5 sports teams, and I got $1 billion, and I got this business, that business, and everyone tells me every day I'm the greatest thing in their life, and I changed their life, and I got 5 kids, and like, where's the meaning of my life? Yeah. That's what the brain is. Just the brain reduces everything and compares it, whereas the heart magnifies everything. It takes the little things that makes it bigger. What made you attracted to your wife when you first met her?
Whoa.
By the way, who's this guy right here? Anabolic Alex. Right?
The honest truth was that I once I met her, I didn't want to not be with her.
Yes, why? What qualities about her did you not want to be without?
I think she let me be me.
Yeah, she loved you for being you.
Yeah, she just never tried to change me. I think that was what was so unique.
That's quite miraculous. I'm fortunate of the same thing. I found that Sage loved me not because I was Tony Robbins. She just loved me. I never experienced that before, right? So, and what else about her besides the fact that she loved you unconditionally?
She also loved the same stuff that I loved.
Yes.
And so when we talked, we just wouldn't stop. And I feel like it has been one very long conversation. We spent two weekends apart since the day we met.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Like not in the same, literally the same place.
Does she bring out analytical Alex or anabolic Alex?
We work together, so she sees both sides.
I'm not asking that. I'm saying, which one can she bring out if she
Oh, she can bring out whoever she wants.
That's right. That's her power, right?
Yeah.
But who does she want more?
Oh, she for sure wants anabolic.
Yes, of course. Because look at this man before me. Like, you're a different man right now when you started here, right? Can you feel that?
Yeah.
Ah!
You shit.
Oh, hi 13 viewers. We're just
But if you don't
exercising.
identify what you think about it,
Yo, this is not my regular stream, by the way.
the human personality,
But yeah, I'm just trying to like
doesn't matter. The strongest
record
force
myself, I
is
guess,
that we need to stay consistent
working out.
with the way we
So I have some sort of accountability and shit.
is the controlling force in being. If you are of identity
Trying to aim at
says,
least
I
to burn,
always
I
find
don't
the
know,
way to victory,
200 calories or 100 calories.
and they say, oh, by the way, you have cancer in your brain, in your lungs, and in your testicles, which is inconvenient since you ride a bike, right?
Oh my gosh.
What does he say? He says, I will find a way. What do some people say? Their belief is, well, I'm at the effect of things. Life controls me. What makes people, by the way, miserable is when they feel events control them versus they control events. And all it is a shift in here and here, right? So Lance had that belief system and he found a way to live strong. Yeah. But he also said, I'm going to find a way to win using drugs that were illegal, right? And so it cost him his reputation, but he won all these things, right? So your identity is everything.
Oh my gosh.
And so you have to be careful because very often in life, we identify to who we were a while ago. Like if I asked someone in an event to do something, go, I'm
Okay,
that
what
kind
am I
of
gonna
person.
pick?
Well, when did you decide what kind of person you were?
I'm trying to complete this quest, this hard quest. I can't pick up any chest. I can't pick up any...
I'm not saying get rid of it, I'm saying let's expand it.
Damn it. Wait, let me review the... again. I have to review the quest. I don't even know ano ba dapat yung kailangan ko i-accomplish. Let's double check. Oh, I think I already did. Oh wait, this is a different quest.
Your level of happiness go and then stop your hypnosis. You hypnotize yourself.
I wanna unlock this
It's time to transcend. Transcend means
without
end
picking
the
any
trance.
items. So does this mean I can break... I think I can break, jars. Okay, I'm gonna try breaking jars for this next run.
No. Fuck suffering.
Okay, I'm gonna try this again.
Fuck suffering.
I think we can get, no? I
It's
think,
not my duty, it's my gift.
to make
It's my
me
honor, it's
level
my
up easier.
opportunity, It's grace.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Fuck it.
You and I both have busted our ass. We wouldn't be here without. But we've also had grace in our life. Your woman is grace in your life. My woman is grace in my life. I always say, listen, I got my wife because of karma. I've helped tens of millions of people worldwide, and that was my reward right there, you know? And that makes me smile like you're smiling right now because I really believe it's true. So it's like those little shifts, they said, I teach something called transformational vocabulary. It's one of the simplest things in the world. I was in a meeting when I was probably younger than you. I was probably 32. And I was two other partners who were very wealthy, super successful, one with $1 billion, another very, very close to it, but very different personalities. And three of us were partners in a certain deal. I won't bore you the details, but I'll give you the core. The core was we went in negotiation, And I'm an open book, as you can probably tell. I don't claim to be right about everything, but I'm going to share what I believe, right? Certain areas I know, just like you know, right? Because of my life experience. But when negotiation for me, I was like, F negotiation. Let's just put our cards on the table. I want to be able to do business with somebody who's honest. I want to tell you the whole thing. Let's do something fair, right? But you know, if you go to certain people, if they don't fight for it, they feel like they don't want to do business, right? They want to feel like they beat you, right? So I go on this negotiation without telling my partners. I opened the door and I told them the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I said, I think this is a deal that would work. I want a deal that's more than happy for you because I'm the kind of guy that'll do a deal, and then afterwards now I give a person a little bit back, even if they agreed to it. Just that's how I got totally for 20 and 30 years. Because I'm generous, right? So I'm trying to be generous, but if you're trying to be generous for the shark, you'll take your odds. So I'm this 32-year-old kid. I'm not realizing you're much more sophisticated at your age than I was at mine, and so I tell the guys all this stuff, thinking, okay, let's come together. It won't be perfect, but let's pull together. Long term, who cares? As long as we respect each other, love each other, we're going to crush this opportunity, right? And the other side, where I give you all the gory details, takes it, uses it, and tries to manipulate us with leverage to make a deal that was far worse than we should be in. So I'm effing pissed. I am angry as hell. I'm pissed off. I'm frustrated. One of my partners goes apeshit. He's like, I'm furious. You said I'm enraged. I kill these members. And he was so intense that even though I was pissed off, I was like, hey, it's not that bad, right? You know, I'm trying to calm him down. While I'm trying to calm him down, and notice my other partner, he's not even moved by this thing. Like, he doesn't seem even slightly upset, which almost upset me. You know, like, don't you get it? He's too crazy in my mind. He's not feeling enough. So I said to him, like, aren't you upset? Because, yeah, aren't you furious? Like, calm down. He goes, yeah, I'm a little annoyed. The first one he said, I'm a little annoyed. I said, annoyed? Like, the word annoyed me, right? Don't you understand? That's what they did. He's like, don't understand. I'm like, calming him down. In the middle of it all, I couldn't help. I'm a student of behavior, right? So I couldn't help but notice all three of us have had the same problem delivered to us, and all three of us have radically different emotional responses. Okay? Why? And I'm listening. He's going, I'm enraged, I'm furious, I'll kill the MFers. And I'm thinking, I'm so pissed off, I'm pissed as hell, I'm angry. And then I'm hearing him say, I'm annoyed. I said, annoyed? I mean, that's it? He goes, well, and then he said, I'm a little tinkled. I said, tinkled? What are you talking about? Right? And he's going, so in the middle of all this, I thought for a moment, I couldn't help it. I said, you know what, I don't think I've ever seen you really angry. He said, I don't really get that angry. It's very rare. I said, well, what about, he had this deal with this IRS agent, came to his house, he's a very wealthy guy, right? And the guy was, the IRS agent, my guess was, threatened by or upset by the level of wealth he had. And so he did some things that he eventually won. It took him 5 years to get his money back. But fought the IRS and won, which is pretty rare, right? But during those 5 years, he's brutal, anybody working the outside. I said, you're going to tell me you were annoyed with that? He goes, no, I was peeved. Peeved, right? And then I asked him something really interesting. I said, what do you believe about getting angry? And he goes, I believe if you get angry, the other guy wins. Right? I'm like, I never thought of it that way.
Well, I know.
If you don't get angry, when I get angry, I get powerful. And I thought, when I get angry, I get sharp. Right? But I also thought, when I'm really happy, I get sharp. And it changed me. I started saying, okay, I call it transformation vocabulary because the words you attach to your experience, as I said, become your experience. My mother would call me one time, I'm old enough, probably not old enough, before we had cell phones, we had these little recorder calls. It's like on a reel to reel. And you called in and got your calls. Well, I went to England and Europe for about, 2 weeks. And I gave my staff the time off. They would work their tail off. So my mom calls every day and leaves a message, doesn't get a call back. And when I called from England, the little beep thing wouldn't translate. So I didn't know it was on there. I didn't know it was on there. I come home, and there are 10 days worth of messages, and every single message she says, I am humiliated. This is humiliating. My son is not the president. It's the most humiliating experience of my life. And as I listen to this going, my mom is always humiliated. Yeah. You know why? If there's a funnel of experience and it's painful, he's going annoyed deep. I'm going pissed off. He's going, I'm going to kill him, right? My mom always uses the word for anything uncomfortable. For humiliated, so she's always humiliated. So, like, I'm never depressed. I was so depressed when I got chased out of my house and I had no money in the background. I lived in this place of depression, and I remember reading this book by Claude in Bristol. It's called The Magic of Believing. and I read the book, and it talked about a condition of mine. And one of the things I did, I wrote on the mirror, I wrote, you know, only a loser is depressed, which isn't true. You can be a winner and be depressed and feel that way. But I knew I wasn't a loser. That was my leverage.
Okay, let's go
And
up.
I literally took
I think
the
I have
depression
enough.
out of my vocabulary. I've never used it again. I felt down. I felt pissed off. I felt frustrated. I felt sad. I felt overwhelmed in moments. I never felt depressed, because when I was depressed, I got to the point where I was questioning whether it's worth it all. You know what I mean? And so your words shape your psychology. And so a few word changes, as stupid as that sounds, as overly simplistic as that sounds.
Ow, 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 ow.
So say, oh man, I'm like, you know, like I'm at the end of my rope. We'll set it down and come over here. What are you talking about? We hypnotize ourselves. You know, or someone will say, well, that person stabbed me in the back, and I'll walk up to him, behind the back. I said, I don't see anything. And you don't even, no, I don't. Well, they betrayed me. Well, what did they do? And you dig and they go, they told someone else something they said they wouldn't tell them. But the words escalated the emotion, and once they're there as a metaphor or as words, they control.
Oh my God!
Like every business person to notice this. I remember, you know, I decided to get divorced when I was 39 years old, and I didn't want a divorce. I had 4 fathers, and I was gonna stay no matter what. Duty, all those things. That was things that go for me, right? And then I remember going to my friend Peter Goober, and I was like, you know, I don't know. I can't imagine doing this, and then. I said I'm going to give her more than half, and I want to take care of her, but I just we're the whole part of starting.
Oh wow, why are we having so many? Oh, I didn't know that I have so many viewers in this time. Hey, 16 viewers. How's your day going? I'm assuming you guys from another country. I don't think anyone from the Philippines would watch. Everybody's busy in the morning. Busy kayo tuwing umaga, no?
But starting over was my trance for being in pain.
Aray. Oh no. Are we gonna lose? I die. Agay. Aray. No. Oh no.
I'm gonna stand looking, shows up, all you do. So all you gotta do is say it's time for anabolic Alex here, and then a moonshot that's gonna wake you up, and then get emotionally so it's like if I just provided all this, when I first met people, I would go there in a t-shirt and jeans, not so they acknowledge me, but so I could see and feel the impact, as opposed to I wrote a check or I did some good work or they did it. The more
Let's walk. Oh my gosh. Look at this. It's a goblin army. I'm so confused. I don't want to get power-ups. Don't let me get the power-up. No.
But it's because I
Gotta not get the power-up.
Is that helpful?
Yes. From the
Stay in anabolic Alex. You do your best to answer the question anabolic because you go back to brain. So I'm happy you've got a very smart brain. We can use him too. But let's try with anabolic Alex as you asked.
So, in order to create the emotional connection, because that is like the thing that I probably have struggled the most from, but I think it's made me disproportionately successful from a business perspective because I can make good calls, right? But, you know, I remember the first time I wrote $1 million check, multiple $1 million checks to charities, and I was just like, okay, I feel like $2 million more, that's about it. You know, like,
Because you're not emotionally sensitive anyway.
zero. But like, you know, I did the tours of the school, and I was like, I'm glad that this all, you know, helped.
The thing, just contribution for contribution is not what I'm talking about.
And this is why I wanted to get, so my last little word of the ones we heard most of them was opportunity.
Yes.
And so I think the question that I have is, you have unlimited opportunities.
Yeah.
More opportunities than you can sink your teeth into.
Yeah.
How do you go through opportunity selection and balancing your kind of achievement brain outcomes and your philanthropic impact?
Oh my.
I look at opportunities first.
Okay, I'm gonna show you guys my watch right now. It's at 83 calories pa lang. Oh my gosh, I'm not stressed enough. Maybe I should play Valorant. No, I'm kidding.
I would do for free if I felt it was
Oh my
really
god.
successful.
Or maybe Siege. Well, that's more stressful though.
Like, is there a mission behind it? Is it something
You need to
that's
play a hard,
right?
ano.
Second thing I look for is who are the people. I want people I'm going to enjoy being with. Like, I would enjoy being with you in spite of this conversation sounding like I wouldn't, because I bring out more anabolic hours. I think your wife brings out more anabolic hours, right? So I'm trying to make sure that if I was doing business with you, I'd make sure this guy was present, right? But I look at the people and I look at their heart and soul, what's driving them, and I also look at their skill. Because you need both, right? So if somebody's got a track record,
Oh, no.
someone's negotiating with me right now on a really
Yeah.
large project, and if the project made no money, I would probably do the project as long as I organize it so I can and have the kind of reward for my time and my energy. because the project has such reach, global reach, on a very deep level. I'm very connected to it, and this person's built the business and went to $2 billion, so they got a great track record. It's not me caring at all. But together, 1 + 1 could equal 5, not 2. So a deal like that gets my attention because most of the money I make I give away at this stage of my life anyway, right? It's like there's, I'm not hurt for any capital.
Yeah.
I know there's no toy that I'm looking for, and it never drove me anyway. So for me, it's like, if it's got enough juice in it here, the people I'm going to enjoy being with, and it's got enough juice in terms of the impact, and then it has track record of the person likely to help get there, so it isn't all my back. The two of us are adding some value together. It's about added value. Then I'm in, and it's like let's rock this thing. Let's make it happen. Let's have some fun. See, mine is let's have some fun, not let's do the duty, right? That's like I'm going to learn. We're going to grow. We're going to expand different things. We're going to touch lives. We're going to have these things. So those are my core criteria, and I'm not always right. But one thing I will tell you that I've done in business, because I've made some poor choices in the early days of business partners. Everybody's selling when you're running a business partnership, right? And it's like one a day,
Ow,
So it's like,
ow,
you get-
don't
you
die,
get
don't
some-
die, don't die.
It's not gonna do the
I
job.
only have 4K lives left to hit. Come on, do not die.
Questions. But
I hope
am
the
very
shit, I
aggressive
think
in
the
business
black,
class. The first
those
thing
are
I
gonna
do
summon.
is
No!
have a resource.
No!
Oh
Oh, shit.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
So it's in West
Dean
Virginia.
told me about this. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a great project.
Annoyed.
But I have some people involved.
Is that a little
some
annoying?
have been involved, and so I had some new people come on board. And what I do now is I go, they sold me.
Yeah, I can feel the tiredness already.
The vision was great. They seemed to have the track record. Everything seemed lined up. And I said, look, what I always do in any new partnership is I have everybody check me out legally. I want you to check out everything online.
Okay, let's do one
You want
last
to know everything about me, and you can ask me any
before I
question you
get
want.
back to
And
work.
I want to do the same with you because that's how I know when I'm starting. Now, by the way, though, nothing I hear will I take as true.
I don't even know what this is. I'm gonna open it.
Discuss it. You and I can tell. Most people have large. You and I have large bullshit meters, right? We can tell when something's bullshit. That's a perfect example. And this guy, we had a deal.
I don't think this is hidden
10 figures
anyway.
Plus, looked really good. Ghosted us. Just ghosted us. Because I uncovered. I uncovered 3 or 4 things he'd done that were not great. I was like, I just saved myself 3 to 5 years of pain. So I do believe in the practical side. But I'm not even interested in going there unless I can first find these pieces and unless I believe already there. But I can get fooled, right? I'm not perfect.
So I have one last question for you, which is the most selfish of all my questions. So you're 36 years old. You have built businesses, and the skill set that you are most proud of is that you're good at helping business owners.
Yeah.
The only thing I feel emotional connection to is teaching young men how to provide for themselves and their families. That's the only thing that actually, because I know that pain.
Yes. So you're connected to it.
That's the only thing.
Makes sense.
And to me, I've built a lot of the business and all that stuff basically around that. But I still don't feel like that the massive emotional drive. That being said, what would you have played differently from your 36-year-old self to current that you could kind of pass on to me? Basically, what can I change about my behavior to maximize my enjoyment and size of it now?
You have to make your enjoyment a priority, which you've not. You've always got your priorities, brother. You're an overachiever. But there's
Oh my
2
gosh.
skills in life. There's the science of achievement, which you're unbelievably great at, and there's the art of fulfillment, which you're not so great at.
Right.
By your description.
Yeah.
By the way, notice the language difference. The science of achievement, it's a science. Like you and I both know, if you want to make money, there's a science to it, right? If you want to be fulfilled, though, that's as unique as every human being you're going to meet. And so you haven't found that piece. Now, you gave some clues along the way. Like, why am I so interested in feeding people? Because I'm such a good person? No, because I suffered, right? So I don't want other people to suffer. So I started out of that. But now it's not out of suffering, it's out of joy. You can get started out of the pain, passion does.
Yeah.
But you don't have to stay in the pain, right? You kind of stayed in the pain, even though you've gone past it.
Yeah.
But what you just said is, well, a clue for me is that's the one place I can start to get closely associated to because I know what it takes to do that, and I know what it feels like to be able to take care of my family. I know the contrast, right? So I would take a look at that and expanding it, but I try to find a way to do it where I had a moonshot, something like right now.
A moonshot of that.
That's
A moonshot of
exactly. And that's what I was saying to you earlier. I'm not saying you should go feed people or writing those checks. The problem is you wrote those checks and things you didn't give a shit about. Right?
I mean, it's
So
true.
you felt poor, so you felt poor, and then you might feel bad about yourself for doing it.
I did.
I'm supposed to do good stuff, and why don't I feel good by doing good stuff? Because it's not your passion.
I was like, I selfishly wrote these checks so that I would feel good, and now I
still
don't
don't
even
feel
feel good, and now I'm just $2 million poorer. But I shouldn't feel bad about doing good, and then it was just the whole thing.
By the way, so question, head or heart was having that
Sure,
discussion.
head, of course, yeah.
So analytical, but by the way, as you're laughing about it now, who's in charge right now?
Animal, yeah.
Right. That little shit, which sounds like nothing, almost nothing else you heard me say, you play with that just to complete your life and bring him to the table. But if you come up with a moonshot connected to that, like I'm not making this completely wrong thing.
Oh boy, if you're complaining about school, wait till you get a job.
They can't buy a home, they can't do that. Most young people here have been sold this bullshit bill of goods.
Hey, let's just think of your school projects as a preparation for the real world. Because the real world can be very harsh. It still is. I'm just being a realist. Not saying this to scare you and all. Holy shit, why are you guys doing political campaigns? Wait, what grade are you in? What the hell? This is what schools teach you now? What? I don't even remember a part of my childhood where we do political campaigns. That is crazy. Is that even legal? What? Damn, I'm so sorry to hear that. I wish I had the answer to your problem.
Waiting in the freezing cold for half a loaf of bread and milk, right? It's bullshit. But kids today are thinking, oh, it means free bus, free childcare, free. But they don't understand. There's no such thing as no free lunch.
Anyway.
What life needs you to do is you live in a free enterprise system, and you're not an owner. You're going to be in pain. You know that. You build businesses. And like I tell kids sometimes, I'm like, here's what I understand. If you put $300 aside, you're still living at home, and you're 19, and you only invested and do it all in the S&P 500. You don't know anything about investing.
Yeah.
And you stopped investing when you're 27. You only put $28,000 in. At 65, you got
It's fine.
God forbid if you keep investing, right? But
Okay, I'm almost done with this freaking
You look at people today, they buy an iPhone, and they buy a new one every
passively
year.
listening to podcasts while just working out. I don't know what my neurodivergent brain is doing. At least we're kinda focused. Oh, nice. Okay, wait. I think I can beat the boss now with this. Ah, shit. I need to go nearer. Okay, let's go to this tree guy. I don't know if I can get... No. I don't think these counts as power up. I'm breaking pots. I'm blocked. Can't see shit.
But the other part for it is helping people understand that, like, if I get to be an owner, the whole game changes. Then inflation can be my friend. I don't have to live in this fear I can't have something. So you can bring that to kids, or whatever age. You can bring it to the biggest say, I gotta come something, I'm gonna take 10 million or a million, or some, whatever would float your boat. And then when you see those kids and you see scale of that, and you see them taking care of their families, and you hear stories about that, I don't think it'll be old for you. What'd you write the checks for?
Kids after school care.
Okay. And you don't have any kids. So you have no association now whatsoever. Right? Okay. It's like shit. But, you know, and I'm not saying write a check, I'm saying go make this happen. Like, go, you've done so much, you need to find something there, but you found the thread. And for me, I wrote, I wrote 4 books on finance. I never expected to do it. You know why I wrote it? Because I got pissed off in 2008. I've coached Paul Tudor Jones for 24 years. One of the greatest financial traders in the history of the world. Every single day measure what he's doing, coaching him through all these pieces. He had the most success in 1987 when the stock market had the biggest percentage drop in history, 20% a day. He made 100%. But then it was like the moon. Go to the moon, and then what do? And then he broke his leg, and then he dropped. So I had to turn him around. Now we've been friends. I've worked with him all those years. I learned so much from him. But when we got to 2008, and I don't know if all of your viewers have been around that long, but it was much more brutal in some ways than 2020 and COVID, because COVID didn't give people money. There was no money then, right? And I remember being so angry because I knew a small number of people basically almost destroyed the entire economic system, and then I thought they were going to be punished, and we gave them more money.
Yeah. So that they could have more money they can eat.
That's right, exactly right. So I was incensed. So out of that anger, I said, I don't have all the answers, but I have one thing: I have access. So I'm going to interview 50, the book you read, 50 the smartest individuals on earth who started with nothing. Nobody from the Lucky Sperm Club. They all started from scratch. And I'm going to see, even though they're radically different, what they have in common. I'm going to write a book that my billionaire clients are going to love, but an average person could do as well. Well, that journey has never stopped. Then I was like, how do I help people accelerate? I was like, I look around today and I see so many people that don't feel they have a compelling financial future. And so I start looking around and say,
That's my heart. Just so you know.
Pardon me?
That's my heart.
Okay, well, me too. So my approach to that, maybe they want to plant a seed with you, because that could be something when you're teaching people to have. You probably already know this, but you may not know this part. So I'm looking around, and you know, like...
Yeah, it is hard. I'm actually doing a challenge. So I disabled picking up chests, and I'm also not allowed to pick up power-ups. So that's the hard part with this game. I mean, with the challenge. So I can't even beat this boss. Oh my gosh. I underestimated tier 1. I thought it was gonna be easy. Ah, shit. Oh my gosh. I hope this shield is enough. Yep. I'm not sure if I can break pots, so that's what I'm experimenting right now. So I'm relying on level ups. So that's what makes this challenge hard. Ah, kaya mahirap. Oh, wait. Oh, what am I doing? Yeah, I know. But I have shield. I have Aegis. See? I'm blocking. I'm sort of blocking.
So if you put $1 million in there, you know, at the end of this time, you have 28.6 billion. It's 100,000, it'd be 2.86 billion. But if you put in average private equity, it's been every stock market in the world, average private equity, that's the guys I'm talking about. Average private equity is averaged 15.7%.
There we go.
Around the world.
Ow.
75% higher per year, compounded year after year. You put in that same $1 million.
Okay, we're about to beat Lil Bark. I don't know if my challenge will be valid because I broke pots. Okay, we're almost beating the main boss. That's what's important. Oh my god! Ayan. Yes! Yeah, we got the hero sword! Yeah! Oh, now you... Oh, I guess you can break. Holy shit, you can break pots. I was playing this wrong. Okay, nice one. Nice-oo! Now we just stand here and do nothing. And just chill. Yay, I got the hero sword. I can buy it now. And I'm just gonna wait for this character to die. Let's fucking go! LFG. Yeah, we're just standing. Let's see how strong this guy is without power-ups and shit. There's also an AFK challenge, by the way, in case you didn't know. But you have to play a certain character so you can make the most out of the challenge. Yeah. So I'm just waiting for this guy to die. Let's see how long he can survive. Hey, I've been playing it for like almost an hour. And my legs are getting tired from the cycling. I'm trying to multitask. Oh my gosh. There we go. He's about to die. Ayan na. Ayan na. And we're done. We're done with this shit. Yeah.
I'm getting rid of 220. So I have 95 of those companies now that I have a piece of. It's
Nice.
It is nothing but a cash
Awesome.
machine out of wildest dreams. I get to work with the smartest people in the world. They're working all night, and I'm right beside them earning without working all night on those pieces, right? And now the same thing with sports teams. I worked forever to get my first sports team, LAFC, and you got to go through every
Santa hat.
a microscope through every part of your body. It's just ridiculous, right? But the rules have changed recently.
Yep, unlocked.
And now, if you have private
This
equity
one.
and the owners don't own other sports teams, there's some technicalities with it.
Ooh,
There's a small percentage
I like
that buy.
this.
So I own
Hero sword.
I own the Dodgers. When I was growing up, I couldn't be in right field. I couldn't afford a ticket, right? The Dodgers. I own the Golden State Warriors. I own the Pittsburgh Penguins. I own Aston Martin's F1. And a piece of all these businesses
Awesome.
all through our business. Then I became partners with him and grew that business. When I met him, it was 1.8 billion. That was 4 years ago. Now we're at 11 billion just in AUM in that business. So The opportunity to grow is insane. But here's
Let's
the
see
problem.
this one.
You got to be an accredited investor, which means you got $1 million net worth.
Okay, let's go back to
Or
normal
purchase
Megabonk.
So your young people are going to know, I can't do that. I wrote this book because
How many
I found
calories
out
have I
just
burned
asked
today?
3 weeks ago.
123 calories. Oh my gosh. I think I can make it to 200.
Richest people in the world, the only people get access to the most effective investments. Don't get me wrong. You got to diversify, but you got a significant board here if you get this kind of 10 times return. And so they were smart because like they say, well, you're not sophisticated. Well, some people have $1 million, but they inherited it. They're not sophisticated. Or they're a good business person, but they're not a good investor. So a group of people, I was arguing this, and it wasn't me. It finally got resolved. 3 of it till they passed the law. Now the Senate will pick it up in April. And what it says is, you don't have to be a great investor to get access anymore. All you gotta do is take a test. They're working on what the test is. You study for the test, and now you can put your money and get the same kind of returns as the richest people in the world. And in my case, you can own a piece of those businesses. So when you're going to show people how to build their own business, the only challenge with your own business is, you and I both know, if there's any law of finance that everybody knows but very few people practice, it's asset allocation, right? You don't put all your eggs in one basket. So most people put all the eggs in their business because they feel more control, and then there's a COVID that happens, right? So you got to, I always tell people you need 2 businesses. The one you're in, the one you're building, but also that business plus an investment business where it's growing. So everything happens here, you're taking care of here, and if they both win, you get there faster than you ever dreamed of. But you got to know where to put your assets. And this is just part of that process. So, but for you,
Yeah, we're multitasking, bro. That's the use of the other screen. And it's so funny, I just noticed after watching for more than 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm low-key clip farming too. Okay, hold up. We're almost done. We're almost done. I've never been this nonchalant in a stream before. And I think it's so liberating, I guess. Like, I only talk when someone asks me a question or something, or they wanna vent out. Anyway, we almost did it. Almost in the first boss. Wait, let me find the portal.
It's the largest relative change in wealth I've ever experienced because you go from $1 to 100,000, you get 100,000x, and you can't 100,000x 100,000 takes a lot
Ooh,
longer than
I can now try this hero sword.
And by the way, once you get to 100,000, your brain expands, right?
Yeah, you see what's possible. And so I think this is the first time that I was able to go out of survival. And I remember I looked at Layla and I said, we can fuck on for 3.5 years. That's what I was like, we can completely screw it over. Yeah, exactly. 3.5 years. And she's like, yeah, this guy's a winner. Really? All 100 grand for the both of us for 3.5 years? Gee golly. You know, this is after she picked me up for jail for getting a DUI. You know, that's why she's back.
Oh, that's awesome.
But that moment, then like all the other milestones after that was the one. And so I think because
Let's go. Hey, good luck with your school stuff. I hope you find better peace soon. I mean, that's just a phase. You don't have to overthink about that stressful event that you're having right now. You'll be fine.
That's great. I love that. If I can help with it, count on
And
me.
yeah, thanks for dropping by. Oops.
I'll give you education,
Where are we?
everything
Ayan,
like
dito na.
that. You're welcome, man.
Give me that shit.
For free. But that's exciting. And I love the way you did that. You went back to a moment where you knew what it was for you. So that's where the passion comes from. You know? And by the way, that wasn't from you. That passion was an excitement that you felt. So I know the word passion literally comes from pain. I know that too. And sometimes we cut up on the original definition versus how we can live it. Right? But I love this idea. If you did that, how many people, does it matter how many, like one person alone feels amazing when you do that, but is there a number that in your mind would say like, this would be like insanely fun, insanely great?
I think I would look at the generation. So it'd be like, how many men are in Gen Z?
Perfect.
And then like, that sounds like a good start.
But what would well, that's a lot of kids. What's the first target though? It's just like, it's like I did a billion, then I went to the 100 billion, right? You know? You want a reasonable goal.
Let's go.
But you need a timeline. So what would be our 36-month goal? Or 24-month goal? That would be unreasonable, but would get you up early and keep you up late.
100,000 men at 100,000 is $1 billion in actual bank account loss. And that sounds like a nice round number.
Yeah. Feel like a nice round number. 100,000 and
Get 100,000.
get 100,000.
Yeah.
And feel the way you felt in that day.
Yeah.
That's nice. And then the second lesson you can teach them along the way
Yeah.
is how to keep enjoying it, my friend.
Yeah. So Tony, do you have an event coming up? Do you want to tell everyone about it?
Yeah, it's called the Time to Rise Summit. It started when I first did, when COVID happened. Because I got the governor calling me in California saying, you know, that place you're going to put 14,000 people, you can put 100 people in because of COVID. And then I tried to move to Vegas, and they shut down Vegas and Texas, and so I built a studio. Anyway, long story short, I said, people are trapped at home, they're depressed, they're frustrated. I want to make a big difference. How can I do that? Well, I'll take away the two things they worry about. No time, they don't have to travel, and no money. And so I did it for free. I've done it now every year for 5 years. And I didn't do like 2 hours, I did 3 days. But I made it chunkable, 3 hours a day, like going to a great movie, only it's changing your life. And instead of new year, new life, and setting some goals that by the end of January they've not done, we help you figure out what you want, increase your energy, like we're talking about here, because without that it doesn't change. Shift your mindset, figure out what you want, figure out what the plan is, figure out what's getting in the way. And over 3 days, you become part of a community of a million plus people from 193 countries that participate. And it's coming up January 29th to the 31st. And it's at 2 p.m. Eastern to people from all time zones around the world. Again, no charge whatsoever. You can do it from your home, you can do it from your office, you might want to do it with someone. And then go to timetorisesummit.com. No charge. Get yourself enrolled, and I look forward to serving you.
Thank you so much, Tony.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
If you have multiple interests and you don't know how to manage them, or you don't know what options there are for you in the future, then I have good news for you, because this is the greatest time to be alive. But in lies the problem. Society has made you feel like having multiple interests is a weakness. We all know the story, right? You go to school, you get a job, you retire at some point, but there is so much wrong with that series of events. I feel like a lot of people fail to understand that we don't live in the industrial age anymore, but we are still dealing with its consequences. Specializing in only one skill is certain death. And I feel like we all know by now how dangerous mechanical living is for the psyche and soul. It's not meaningful, right? We made productivity our god, and that god has betrayed us. And I also think that people feel that we are going through a second renaissance. So you're very excited, right? You have multiple interests. You're like, oh, okay, how do I actually make the most of this? I see people online and they're doing these cool things. I get to listen to people who talk about my interests, but how do I do something similar? You have to understand that your curiosity and love for learning is not a weakness. It is a massive advantage. You just need to learn what to do with it. And I felt the same way. For the longest time, I would just learn and learn and learn and watch tutorials, get stuck in tutorial hell. I would see people online say to avoid shiny object syndrome, and I'd be like, damn, I'm right in the middle of that. I need to change what I'm doing. I need to focus on one thing. And I got my dopamine from feeling smart. But when I looked back at my life, I didn't really have anything to show for it. I felt smart. I couldn't articulate anything that I remembered, but my life didn't change all that much, and honestly, I just felt like I was falling behind. In college, I tried so many different things because I always had this dream of doing something creative, but I was going to college, and if college ended and I didn't have a creative income source, then I would have to get a job.
Let's go.
So it's like, I need to figure out what I need to do now, and so I just experimented with a bunch of different things, but I didn't stick to one thing. And so that's what happened. 5 years into college, 1 more year than I was supposed to go, I had to get a job because I just needed to survive, right? I needed money. But the missing piece for me, that I'm guessing is a missing piece for you, was the vessel. A vessel, a way to channel your multiple interests into one thing, right? That's not what
I think I'm gonna reach 200 calories a day.
That's more of a generalist, right? But let's say the definition of a generalist is someone who has an aim for their life. They have a desired outcome. They have a future they want to achieve, and they do all of the things required to achieve that. We're going to dig deeper into this. That's such a huge insight that you may not understand. In other words, I needed to do something that would generate income so that I could survive, but it umbrellaed all of my interests into. So if you've ever felt guilty for not being able to pick one thing and totally niche down when your mind wants to expand, if you've wondered whether there's a path you can take that doesn't lead to the misery you see in everyone else's eyes, this is the greatest time to be alive. So here are the 7 most compelling and practical ideas that I came up with for people with multiple interests will start by understanding why having multiple interests is a superpower, which is very important, and then I'll give you the practical steps, kind of hyper-practical, it's kind of like a full course on how to turn those into your life's work. And this will especially make sense in our next video called The Future of Work, which is going to be a huge synthesis of all the research I've done on what the future could look like with AI, etc. I think you'll like that, especially if you're into it. So we have a lot to talk about. I hope you're here for the ride. If you're not, you can save this for watch later. So on something that is so don't forget about it. So the first idea, we're going to talk about the three ingredients of individual success and the death of the expert. And we'll start with a quote from Adam Smith, who had a huge influence on the birth of capitalism. We'll talk about that in a bit. But the quote is, "The man whose whole life is spent implementing a few simple operations generally becomes as stupid and ignorant as it is possible for a human creature to become." So it's funny that he says that, because industrial age, capitalism, free markets, employment, etc. I'm not against capitalism. I think it's going to evolve into something better, hopefully. But it's funny that he says that, because he's the one who contributed to it, if not created it. So specialization is proposed because in a factory, for example, is happening across many different types of factories and lines of work. One worker doing every step to produce one incident, and then many workers each doing one step rather than every step to produce 48,000. So we built an entire world around this model, just siloed people into
Oh no!
repetitive robotic tasks, and you can wonder why we're at threat of replacement
Fuck.
from robots right now. It's because humans
Tired.
became assembly lines.
Okay,
running
I'm
down
done
the
with this
front
shit.
lines. And this happened
Ang ina.
because, frankly, governments don't serve the national interest, the interest
So
of
we
the people.
burned
They serve their own
153
interests.
calories for
Philosophy
today.
of capitalism
I'm putting it on record.
isn't the
Okay.
answer, but the same thing
Hindi ko lang
applies
kita ba?
to
Kita nga ba?
corporations.
Yeah, we
The corporations
burned
don't serve the
153
employees'
calories.
interests, they serve their own,
Sabi
and their
dito.
own interest is profit.
Ayan,
Since that
ayan.
starts to
See?
form the base of the economy,
Not bad.
just the general culture of the US or the
Ah.
West,